my first season and my first playoff experience, and scoring that goal was the ultimate. It was, everything that a kid could dream of.
The whole play for us, the players, seemed like it was slow motion, the way it happened. The action was coming in front of the net, and suddenly the puck came out high slot, and Mike Krushelnyski was on his back, and he kind of swiped at it with his stick, and Mike Vernon was on his back, and you see the puck go up, way up in the air, and then he tries to reach for it, and it just clears the crossbar, and it just clears his glove and goes in.
Face off to the left of Grand Pure. Darrell Evans and Bozak, an all-rookie front line. Smith on the draw. Shot by Evans. He scores! Oh! Look at him! Darrell Evans shot it from the right side. Under the crossbar. And the Kings have taken the lead in the series.
Darrell is just a stocky little guy. He had an excellent series. He takes off, he's at center, and he's got the stick up in the air, and he's dancing around, and everybody's coming towards him and hits him down the end. I went too, and I think we took his Stanley Cup away from the Oilers.
Guy Lafleur scored a real big goal against Boston in '79 to tie the game with a minute to go, and then we went on and won the game in overtime.
Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into the net, back to Lafleur. What could be more appropriate if anybody's going to score for the Canadiens? And their gunner, Guy Lafleur, takes that drop pass after he initiated the play. He beats Gilbert with a hard slap shot from the right side, low on the far side. Guy Lafleur sends this place into a frenzy again. Well, this has got to be heartbreaking for the Boston Bruins. Here tonight they saw a 3-1 lead wiped out, and a bench penalty caused the loss of the lead again.
It was a great goal. I mean, Guy Lafleur coming down like that and taking the shot, and those were his kind of goals too, but it was exciting to watch, and I remember that goal was a big goal.
I mean, he lives on top of the circle.
Lived on top of the circle, and he came down the wing with so much speed that the defenseman would have to give him that room, and then he would take it, and they always hit the post and in, always hit the post and in. It was amazing to see him play.
That's why he was great. The flower. Hey, Dennis, if I remember correctly, Montreal won that game against your beloved Bruins, right? By the way, how was your slap shot coming, Den?
Well, Dan, one of the great things about being a Bruins fan is that we tend to black out bad moments in team history, so I don't really remember anything from about 1972 till today.
Hey, Larry, you call that a slap shot? My mom shoots harder than that.
Yeah, right, Martin. By the way, my name is now officially Denis, okay? Hey, Dan, your genius in our life got a very important, outstanding goal, I think. 1996, playoffs, double overtime, St. Louis, Detroit, Steve Yzerman. Huh? Let's take a look at it, the videotape.
Yzerman picks it up. Yzerman moving. Blue line chance.
Wow. What a rocket, huh? We got Dave Coulier standing by right now with the man himself, Steve Yzerman, to talk about that goal.
Thank you, Dennis. Now, Steve, based on that celebration, that must have been one heck of a goal for you and the team. You want to tell us about it?
Well, that was the first time I've scored an overtime goal in the NHL, so I've been in the league a few years, so it was incredibly exciting, and obviously being in a Game 7, no score in the game, it was pretty wild. I picked up a loose puck in the neutral zone, got to the blue line, and all I was thinking was try and put it by the defenseman's legs, and shot the puck, and I actually had a pretty good view of it, and
Did you get to see it go all the way in?
Watched it go in, and yeah, I don't shoot the puck a lot from out there, and I don't really expect to score from out there. So it was a big surprise for me, but I think it was a bit of a screen and caught the goalie off guard a little bit.
Now, in 1989, you put on some spectacular moves
against the Chicago Blackhawks. Can you kind of maybe show us up here on the chalkboard just how you did some of those spinoramas that I certainly can only do in my dreams? We got the chalk for you and everything.
It was kind of a fluky goal. I didn't really do a whole lot, but I was coming down the wing and I tried to make a move around the defenseman and lost the puck in his skates, and somehow the puck came back to me. They just kind of kept swinging off of me, and I curled over this way and turned around and came back, and I think they had a couple of checkers in here, or a couple of Blackhawks, and I think they just kind of a little miscommunication and swung off, and I came down the middle of the ice and shot it over his glove and scored. But I really didn't do a whole lot. Like I said, the only move I tried was over here in the corner and lost the puck and came back and around, so it worked out all right.
I think I was sitting up here, and then when I watched you over here, spin around, did the little spin move, came back over here. I had just passed a hot dog that way. Now, the beer guy's coming this way for me. This is from my...
Hang on to that.
Yeah, I managed to hang on to the beer, okay, spun around, grabbed the hot dog, gave the guy the money. He flipped around, gave me change, and bada bing, there you have it.
Across the line, makes a little move on it. Rolled in toward Nagy, knocked it away. Eiserman has it again. Eiserman still in control. Spins away. He's in. Oh, he's coming right in alone. Big shot. What a goal. Wow. There's one for the highlight, Bill. Oh, you got that right. That's a Savardian type play in the past is now becoming, it is, a play like Steve Eisenman would make, and that's the true honor of a great player.
I'll pick the Steve Eisenman goal against Chicago.
So what do you think, Steve? That's some pretty high praise.
Well, you know, I took Shanny and his fiance out for dinner last night, and you know, I try to take care of him, and in turn, he does me a favor too.
Yeah, did the trick. Well, let's take a look at some other super spectacular spinorama goals. Check it out.
Stewart, he's right back. He hits Neely, he breaks in, he's backhand by Neely after the plate.
That was incredible.
One for the archives, that move by Cam Neely.
Moves down to the puck. Pick up from Messier. There by Garrett. Backhand scores! Ryan Leach. He's behind the goal. The spinorama. He scores. What an effort. What a move by Ryan Leach. Semenoff across the line. Semenoff spins, shoots, he scores! Oh, what a beauty! That was just one man deciding that he was going to do something spectacular. Alexander Dave comes back with win. Dave, a spinner, moved to Pickling. He scores!
What a move by Alexander Dave. You called it a spinorama. Unbelievable spinorama.
Here come the Canucks. Here's Naslund, a spinorama, shoots, scores! Oh my goodness! Oh man, did he spin in a hurry? Here comes Roenick. One man to beat. Roenick in on Gdynia. Spinorama! He's around him, he's in! He scores! Jeremy Roenick!
Jeremy Roenick taking a page out of Dennis Savard's book.
Best goal I ever saw was Dennis Savard score against Edmonton.
Glenn Anderson. His pass knocked down by Savard. Sheets through center, dragging the puck. Savard still has it around Keegan. Around goal, she scores! What a goal by Dennis Savard!
In essence, he beat, out of 5 guys on the ice, he beat almost 11 guys. I don't think I've seen one quite that nice in a long time.
Canadians though backs the other way. Denny Savard. He'll do the spinner and a holy mackerel. Now Savard makes the move. Spins around, continues. Devil on stage with him. Crowd loves it. Savard moves around in front. Score!
Now, Steve, based on that video, Dennis Savard looks like the king of spinoramas. Was there one player who was inspirational to you with their moves growing up?
Yeah, my favorite player was Brian Trottier when he played with the Islanders, and that's why we're number 19. He was a centerman. He didn't necessarily play with the flash and dash of Dennis Savard, who I think is he's the guy who really invented that. It was the first player to really use it effectively. Spinoramas coming in on the defense, and probably he is the best at coming out of the spin and with speed and with the puck as well, which is pretty important.
Well, let's throw it back to our king of the spinoramas, Dennis Leary. Dennis?
You know what? Dennis Savard may think he invented the spinorama, but I got two words for him: Bobby Orr. Okay? Bobby Orr invented the spinorama, the coast to coast, and about 90 other moves nobody else can do. Okay, ready? Here's my patented spinorama, as heavily influenced by Bobby Orr.
Larry, what the hell was that? I could skate better than anyone else 5. You definitely need some double runners.
You know what, Brian? Why don't you try doing this when you're 40? I think I'm really hurt here, guys. We get a medic? Why don't you watch these coast-to-coast moves?
I'm old. Puts it in front, but it's blocked by Orr. Moves it around now up to Sanderson, back to Orr. All of a sudden, he's got running room. Getting around Harris, putting it. It's 2-2, and Orr is going to sure have it go. His 100th point. That's Bobby Orr's 100th point of the season. No other defenseman in the National Hockey League history has ever done it. Bobby swooping, center ice over the line. Going in, shot, score! A solo pass by Paul Bobby makes it 4-1.
Here comes Zubov, stick handling through center, down to the Hartford line, moving around decision, he's in, a shot, he scores! Oh, what a move by Zubov! 2-0 Dallas on one of the prettiest goals you'll see. Coast to coast, just like butter on toast. Oh, what a move through by Berard, and he scores! What a wonderful goal, a dash by Berard, right up the ice, through the defense, and he tucked it in. Oh, it's a pretty move. Sergei Fedorov left Stefan Kintal standing at the blue line, wondering what went by him.
One-on-one situation is my favorite.
Fedorov able to regain control. Works his way to center. Sergei Fedorov hands around a check. He cuts to the net. He's in. He shoots. He scores. Fedorov. We've had 2 highlight-filled goals already from Detroit. La passe jusqu'à Holtz, à Capelli ensuite. Daly devant Goussarov. Oh, il l'a feinté. Il est seul. Et goal. Played easily by Valerie Kamensky. Kamensky now working, trying to split the defense. He does. Backhand score! What a move by Valerie Kamensky. Now Jeff Shantz will try and skate down from the Hawks, and he does. Shantz to center. Shantz to the blue line. Shantz to move. Shantz to goal! Now this is a great goal. This is one of those highlight goals from his own end. Jeff Shantz taking what is available. The entire ice surface is available. Everybody's playing off him. The last move, brilliant. Right around the stick and up top. See ya. 1-0. What a great goal.
The Leafs are going to skate out thanks to the work of Wendell Clark. He gets up over the line, gets in on goal. He scores! Wendell Clark with a beautiful run from his own blue line. Went through everybody.
Once again, a lot of pressure by the Kings. Robinson, Duchesne, and Connell, all 3 of them behind the net.
44 seconds on power play, taking it in deep, shoots, he scores! What a goal by Esa Tikkanen.
Tikkanen takes it into his own hands, and he's going to beat everybody.
It's a beautiful goal.
Hey, Dan Moriarty back here with Luke Robitaille. And you know, who got one? Besides hockey players being fabulous skaters, they've got to have great hand-eye coordination, which I obviously lack. Oh, thanks a lot. You know, Luke, there's been a lot of great goals scored in the NHL that you've seen, you've been a part of. What's the most fabulous one that you have ever witnessed?
I mean, you're right. They seem like every year in the playoffs there's an amazing goal. There's a lot of them, but I think The most amazing goal for me was one year, I think it was Lemieux against Ray Bourque on a one-on-one situation, and Mario deked Ray Bourque and then went in and scored the goal. And it wasn't a playoff against Boston, and it was amazing because you really saw the best against the best, and it was a spectacular goal. It was fun to watch.
And if you can beat Ray Bourque one-on-one.
Yeah, you're a pretty good player.
Let's take a look now at a segment we got of unbelievable goals.
Okay.
How's that?
All right.
You're probably in there.
There, I remember that play. He took a shot and hit me in the back, and I went way up in the air. And one time, like baseball, that was amazing to see.
Kicked it right out of midair. What a goal!
This is Noonan trying to set up Sillinger.
Gives it to Rutu. They could get a 2-on-1. Here's Rutu going in with Tucker. And Rutu gets it back to Housley. He scores! What a play by Rutu! Unbelievable!
Well, you're going to see this goal shown throughout North America for the next month.
Marcus Nhl'S pulls up to take possession. Now skates quickly back for the Penguins. 1-on-3 to the end. Goes through two men. Now third backhand and score! What a play by Marcus Nhl'S when he went through three men and scores on a backhander on his stomach.
To Bossy. Back to Gillies. Back in. Check. Oh! A power play goal, and the Islanders lead 2-1.
Boston gets it to Gillies. Gillies gets it right back to him. It goes through. Boston has only one thing he can do with it. To slap at it, backhanded. It just happens to go in inside the post.
Well, Mike Bossy knows where the net is. That's all you can say.
Well,
and back to the net he scored.
Wayne Gretzky has dominated a sport like no one ever has. I watched him one night, and he was standing about 15 feet left of the net, and the defenseman took a slap shot about waist high, and Wayne stuck his stick out and tipped it in. And I just said, how in the hell did that puck go in the net?
And O'Shea's going to get a penalty. Here's Hall with the puck, stick handling, passing it over to Chris.
Oh, voilà, c'est Sandstrom là qui va s'échapper. C'est le chute de but!
Delano gets there, gets it to Eisenman, he's got an open net. Got far with him,
Look what he did.
Look what he did. Oh,
Flipped it over him. And he has just found every way in the world to score a goal.
Lead for Monty against Adam Foote, and he scores!
Oh, I didn't even see the way that happened. That was so unbelievable. I didn't even see it. All he was on his back, and he shot with one hand.
Here comes Lemieux. Wilson back. Lemieux has a score. That's a hat trick for Mario Lemieux. 3 goals already. It's only the first period, and the fans responding here in Pittsburgh.
Here comes Nhl'S, back to Lemieux. Lemieux working back into the Canucks and trying to tee it up. Puck goes in. The Penguins have scored. Somehow Lemieux put that puck in.
Let's see what he does here. Oh, my goodness.
Well, there's not another guy on earth that can do that. Yeah, I didn't even realize he had done it.
Erickson to the blue line, sends it on the right wing to Dion. Dion to Robitaille, got tripped, and he scores! Oh, what a goal! Dion falls down, and while on the side, unbelievable goal by Luc Robitaille.
All right, I'm Luc Robitaille. Once again, a righty. All right, keep on. I'm not moving this time. This is hard.
You'll never get it.
Impossible. I mean, how'd you do this? I can't even stand
The
still.
truth, the honest truth. You want the version that I told the press, or you want the truth? I want the truth. I have no idea. It's one of those goals where I just went to the net, I got the puck, and it was like a last-second effort, and it went in. I was just as shocked as anybody. I made it sound like I wasn't when I talked to people after the game, but I was. It was one of those freaky plays.
All those years,
I gotta be honest.
all those years of like practicing your shot, hitting the upper corner, lower corner,
Yeah.
your most famous goal.
I had no idea how I did it. Actually, most of them, you'd never have any idea. You just shoot quick.
It's like, maybe look a win, I don't know.
That's right.
Who's ruling this? The goalie's not that wide.
That's right.
Well, let's go back to New York now and Dennis Leary. He's working on his own unbelievable shot.
All right, give me another one. You know what? This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Ah, man. You know what goal I'm trying to recreate? You know? Let's take a look at it. Dale Howard, Chuck.
Second period action score tied at 1. Buffalo looking to take the lead with a man advantage for the next 35 seconds. Score! Buffalo! Dale Howard Chuck. And the Sabres take the 2-1 lead.
What a play! Howard Chuck deflected the puck over the net and quickly came to the front and backhanded the puck by the Detroit goaltender. Talk about magic.
Okay, I gotta get it this time. You know what? Here's Darren McCarty with Dave Coulier to talk about that goal. One more time. Going up and then up.
Hey, nice try, Dennis. Nice try.
I thought he should have a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, he should have had a smoke hanging out.
Hey, it always works better with a cigarette.
I think so. That was Dale Howardchuk in Buffalo. Now, you were on the Red Wing squad during that time. That was a pretty amazing use of the hands.
It was. I remember sitting on the bench watching it, and it was pretty much a harmless play coming around the boards, and him and Lidstrom just pretty much hit the puck at the same time, went over the net, and all the goal scorers, they have those something built inside them. They know where the puck's going and when to be there. And as you saw, he was Johnny on the spot, as they say.
Yeah, but you're not a bad goal scorer either. Now, we were talking earlier with someone you might know, Steve Yzerman, fellow player on the Wings with you. He's done some pretty amazing things with the puck. What have you seen him do over the years?
Well, I grew up just across the border, so I've been watching him since he really started here. That was one of my favorite players growing up.
Sure.
And I've seen him score from everywhere on the ice.
Yeah.
Pretty much, whether it's watching him on TV, being here in Joe Louis Arena, or playing on his line. He scored goals from our side of the red line. He scored goals from behind the net. So those guys with the goal-scoring ability and the magic hands, they can sure make some unbelievable things happen.
Truly a magician with the puck. Well, check out Steve Yzerman and some of our other magicians with the puck right now. Take a look.
Yager with the puck. Yager, nice move around Brent Sutter to the backhand. Lets it go, he scores!
Fabulous individual efforts, and I don't care how good the team is defensively as a team, that becomes man on man. And Yager just beat 3 of them.
Has Kissio and gets to him, but he couldn't control until he had gone back deep. Kissio swirls out in front, looking for something. They try a shot right in front, he scores! It's dropped to Chelios, then onto Amani. Gets by one, by another. Score! My goodness! Highlight field goal by Tony Amani! Wide open far circle. Dick Hale's trying to check walk right in. Dick Hale's in. What a goal by Mike Modano! A perfectly executed sequence from the great star Modano. Here's Modano teeing it up, waiting, still dragging the puck, waiting on Pichet, a shot, he scores! You give him that much time and that much space, and you are bound to get scored on.
A brilliant individual effort by the great Mike Modano.
One of the goals that sticks in my mind was last year at the All-Star game. Owen Nolan, when he went down, he kind of picked this corner there and kind of showed the goalie where he was shooting, and he still buried it. Nice and unique. It was sweet.
Can you believe he called the shot? Look at him! One-on-one snapper.
Everybody were asking me after the game. I didn't even know what the people talk about. You know? I saw it first time on TV the next day. I think. You know, I just was focused on the puck and on his stick, and I didn't know that he was pointing somewhere. I had no idea.
Slow down. Gets around. Roger gets around me. He scores. What a goal! Mike Gardner with a fabulous move. Oh, baby. You're taking. Mike Gardner puts a show on. Bruins back to their heels, and then here comes Yager powering home. Look at Yager. Shoots his shot. Put that one on the highlight tape. Spectacular goal.
dinks through guys like it's pee-wee hockey. Here's Basil McRae. A great little deep. Basil's open a drive. He scores! Basil McRae! Boy, did he put a nice little move to get around the defense, and the Stars regain the lead 3-2.
Down the right side, Kemnoff looking again. He shoots, he scores! What a move! His fifth of the game! What a play by Kemnoff!
Kemnoff using a move I think most players only try in practice.
Picked up now by Doug Wade. He has McCammon on his left. Wade up the middle. Score!
Watch this move. Inside, outside, and up top on Rick Tabaracci.
Right back over to Bure again, looking for the ex-Devil Greg Adams, number 8. He was at the hash marks. Now Bure, what? Mike, this is one of those ones I'm not going to touch. Just watch. Here goes Bure. And now Bure, short-handed, breakaway, score! Now we're all going to want to watch this replay, and we still won't believe it. Unbelievable. Eiserman shot! What a magnificent goal by Steve Eiserman!
This is his 400th career goal. What a way to put a milestone number up.
Eiserman looking to cut in. He is in. He scores! What a goal by Eiserman! Holy cow!
For me, the most exciting goal I ever saw was it was in the finals, Pittsburgh against Minnesota. And we still remember sitting there watching the game and just, in total amazement that this just happened. It was my first year in the NHL going, if this is what people expect to be able to play in the NHL, there's no way I'm going to be able to play.
Can you believe this goal by Darren McCarty? Move over, Mario. Here I come.
All I remember is, when I came up, first of all, when I made the move, and actually I was in that position. I don't think I ever beat anybody one-on-one like that, maybe in practice or something, but I just saw Hextall. My reaction was to pull it, and I had the whole net, and I was at the top of the crease, and I just said to myself, please don't miss the net. You're seeing it looks this big, even though you're standing on top of it. And I skated around the corner, and I was going nuts, and the first person I looked at was Stevie, and he's got this look like, what the hell was that? Like one of those looks. So that's something that I'll always remember.
Yeah, you got that one on tape forever. Now, Brendan Shanahan was saying earlier that he thought one of Eiserman's goal, the spinorama goal, was one of the most amazing goals that he'd seen. But let's take a look and see what Brendan had to say this time.
Darren McCarty. That might be number one.
Well, Darren, some pretty darn high praise. What do you think?
I pay him well.
You pay him well?
I pay him well to say those nice things.
I think it worked. So, some pretty amazing goals here in the NHL.
There's been so many goals, obviously scored over a long period of time, but so many great ones, and I think all you can do is categorize them into one category. All great goals.
You betcha. So, for some more amazing NHL goals, let's go back to Dennis. Dennis?
Hey, let me ask you something. This angle remind you of anything? That's right. Bob Nyson's goal to lead the Islanders to their first cup. Scored right here in this very spot. And that led to 4 straight cups in a row. My favorite part of which, of course, is that was 4 years that the Montreal Canadiens couldn't win it. Right now, let's check out the real thing.
Comes into the center ice area. Islanders number 10 in it. To Tinelli. Here's Tinelli with Eiserman.
John and I had been doing this in practice day in and day out. Whenever we did 2-on-2s, we always did a crisscross. And 9 times out of 10, it didn't work.
I was coming one way, and Bob and I was going the other way. And I got the pass from Lorne, and Bobby Nye was pretty much in the same path of Lauren Henning, as far as I can remember. And we made a big crisscross, and it seemed to slow up their defense just a little bit, just a split second that it needed for Bobby Nye to get in the clear. And all I had to do was throw the pass to Bobby Nye, and he deflected it home. So just goes to show you, I guess, sometimes practice does work out.
Right after it was over, I mean, there just seemed to be 1,000 people on the ice celebrating, and the first guy that got to me was Sal Marciano, and I was just involved in interview after interview. You know, the guys would come over after we congratulated, they'd grab a hold of me, and then someone else would grab me for an interview, and I mean, the whole presentation happened, and it seemed like it happened so quickly, but I never got the chance to raise the cup. I never got a chance to even touch the cup during that whole celebration, and you know, from my own standpoint, it would have been devastating for me had we not won another cup. I would have been destroyed in the fact that I never got a chance to carry the cup.
Shoots, hit a stick, comes to the line. LaFontaine shot. He scores! LaFontaine at the blue line. Here in the fourth overtime. Firing the shot and winning the series. Scoring at 8:47 on the fourth overtime period. And the Islanders pour off the bench. And the Capitals stand there exhausted.
Rangers changing. Matisse off for the Devils, plays it cross ice into the far corner. Beto swoops in to intercept. Beto behind the net, swings it in front. He
The Bill Barocco goal that he scored against Jerry McNeil of the Montreal Canadiens to win the Stanley Cup in 1951. It turned out to be Bill Barocco's last goal. Over the summer, he was on a fishing trip, and his plane crashed, and he wasn't found for many years after that. It's a spectacular photo. Barocco is almost in a diving position. He's been upended. His stick is moving forward. Jerry McNeil has fallen into the net. You can see the puck against the mesh, and it was a Stanley Cup winning goal.
Dominic Hasek came in for Grant Fuhr at the end. We were down 5-2. You know, we mounted a comeback, scored late in the game to tie it up, took it to overtime, and I remember scooping up a squid. You know, somebody threw out an octopus on the ice, and I scooped it up, and I don't know, I kissed my blade, just, come on, baby, you know, it's time, hopefully, and looked upstairs, and somebody was with me.
Up to LaFontaine, he gets tripped up, gets it to Bay, and over the line, he's going in on goal, he shoots it!
Guru, your host, Dennis Leary.
There's a guy who finally knows what he's talking about. Okay, it's time for probably the greatest goal of all time. And there's no arguing about this. You might think I'm biased, but you know what? We asked God, and even he agreed, okay? Bobby Orr's Stanley Cup winning goal, 69-70 Bruins. This is the most probably recreated goal. I know my 7-year-old son, all the kids on his team, they all love to recreate this moment. They hope that somebody trips them in front of the net and that they score. And as they score, they get to put their arms up in the air. I have a framed photograph of this back at my house. And I'm actually considering getting a whole wall, just completely one blown up photo of this. Here it is, the greatest goal of all time, Bobby Orr.
Westfall rolled it in front, Sanderson. Tried a shot that was wide, and Keenan cleared it but not out. Bobby Orr behind the net to Sanderson. Orr! Bobby Orr! Scores in the Boston Bruins! Have won the Stanley Cup!
I got lucky the puck came up the boards. I stayed in to keep it in, hit it back into the corner to Derek. Went to the front of the net, and Derek gave me a nice pass. As I was going across,
Glenn Call, the goalie, the St. Louis goalie, had to move across and his legs opened up, and I'd like to tell you that I saw those legs open and I turned the puck up on its edge and I put it to see those legs, but all I was doing when I received it on my stick, I just put it on net.
I have a painting of it at home I bought this summer. It's